In Japan, there are three places considered to have the three most scenic views, and it's called the Nihon Sankei, or as I like to call it, the three wonders of Japan. I've gotten the privilege of seeing all three of them. They are called Miyajima, Amano-hashidate, and Matsushima. And in this video, I'm going to rank all three of these wonders based on my own personal experience and which places you should visit first. I think it's worth visiting all three. First on the list that you should visit is Miyajima. It's located right next to Hiroshima, making it easy to visit both places on the same trip. Honestly though, when I visited Miyajima, it was actually by accident. I didn't know that it was actually one of the Nihon Sankei. But one of my friends was definitely raving about it, saying that we could probably spend the whole day there, and we actually did. The most famous aspect of Miyajima is the giant torii gate in the ocean. However, one very special thing about this location is that depending on the time of day you go, the torii might be in the ocean or actually walkable. Me and my friends ended up going a pretty early morning to visit the temple where the torii was in the ocean, and then later on, right before sunset, it became low tide and we got to walk around the torii. This, along with the deer that happened to be there, made it such an interesting and fun experience that I'll never forget. Not only that, but the town around that area was extremely nice, and the temple in front of the gate was probably one of the most unique ones I've ever seen. I sort of think of it as Japan meets a little bit of Pirates of the Caribbean. Another thing that we ended up doing was hiking Mount Misen. It was actually a little bit of a funny story since none of us were prepared to hike, but one of our friends really wanted to, so we ended up doing it not knowing how difficult it was. But we made it to the top and it was a beautiful view. Just thinking about Miyajima seriously puts a smile on my face because it was one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in my entire life, not just in Japan. I could talk about it all day, but let's move on to the next one, Amano-hashidate. This wonder is truly a sight to behold from a high vantage point. The land bridge is known as the Bridge to Heaven, and it looks pretty darn cool from afar. However, while walking on it, I didn't feel like it was anything like amazingly special, although you could like go to a beach on the left side and then also go to a beach on the right side. So in that sense, it was pretty cool. But I still very much enjoyed walking along it. I just thought that going to the places around where you can see a higher view was better. There are also a lot of things that you can do around the area. Like for instance, I went on a very unique boat ride that was just about like 40 minutes away by bus. And there were a lot of nice surrounding temples. Oh, also, for location-wise, this is northern Kyoto. Me and my friend took a bus from Kyoto Station that took about 2 hours, I believe. I had a good time with this one overall, but I feel like I do need to go back on a sunnier day to really fully appreciate it. Finally, the third Nihon Sankei, Matsushima, located in Sendai. I actually really enjoyed this Nihon Sankei. I found it to be quite unique and beautiful. It's basically a series of islands that are like nothing I've ever seen before. But again, this time we also went on a slightly cloudy, rainy day. I feel like I do need to go back again on a sunny day to fully appreciate it. But this day was actually pretty special because it was my first time wearing a kimono. And it so happened to also be a time when the news station was looking for a story of foreigners wearing kimonos, and me and my friend ended up being on Sendai News. It's actually the same news station that is like a spin-off of a news station in Haikyuu, the volleyball anime, which I really love, so I thought that was like a hilarious coincidence. But that is definitely something you can do around that area. Well, firstly, you take a boat ride to look at all the islands, and once you get to Matsushima, like the final point, that's when you get off the boat and you can visit the temples and one of the islands, which was what we did in Kimono. The town itself also felt very unique, and I just enjoyed going around. And again, there are quite beautiful temples around the area. To be honest, I'd say that Matsushima and Amano-hashidate are pretty close in terms of how much I enjoyed the experiences. But one of the reasons why I placed this last on the list is because it's in Sendai, which is a place I believe people rarely visit. Regardless, I very much enjoyed it, and I'm definitely planning on going back in the future. So those were my experiences and my ratings for the Nihon Sankei, or Japan's three wonders. Each of them were uniquely beautiful and places that I would definitely go to again. However, if you had to make a priority list of which places to visit first, Miyajima would be first, then Amano-hashidate, and then Matsushima. But if you have the time, definitely consider checking out all three of them. I hope you guys enjoyed my analysis and ranking of the three wonders of Japan. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.